Hey, it's Tuesday. It's windy. It's rainy. It's not as cold. It's in the 40s, close to 50. It's supposed to be like that. Thank you, Jesus, for the next like 8 days, if not longer. Not so much rainy and windy, but the warmer weather. Yes. So I went to my oncologist and he said everything looks great. Numbers are good. And so I have treatment tomorrow. But I wanted to talk today about living in my van and how do I keep warm. People have told me get a Mr. Buddy. Now, one time I bought a Mr. Buddy and I took it right back the next day. I'm petrified of propane, just petrified of it. So I don't. I cook with butane, and yeah, even that is doesn't bother me as much. But it's something about propane that I just don't want to accidentally fall asleep and never wake. That's my own thing. Uh, But it's been really cold. It's been a while since I've spent a winter in the cold, and I've forgotten some of the tips and tricks that I used to use. Now I'm going on 8 years living in my minivan, and I have my window covers on, and then I have blankets, and then I have blackout curtains. So the side doors and the clear back, I never feel any air coming at all from it. And it makes it nice at night because it's really dark in here. I do feel, and in my windshield, I put up my blackout blinds and then I put a heavy blanket over that. So from that part's good. I do have to figure out something for my side doors, and I have plenty of time. So if I don't procrastinate, I should have that done in the next week. So that would be great. And that excuse me, would eliminate that draft that comes through there because it is a vehicle and the seals aren't like airtight. So that is something I need to do. And as you know, um, the Lord's been so good to me. 95% of the time, my heat will work. Uh, So I could warm up my van a little bit before I close everything off when I go to bed. And then I light a candle. It's a 3-wick candle. And it just takes that chill and the dampness. More than anything, it's the dampness. I just I don't like it. Everything just feels clammy and damp. And it's misery. So I do burn a candle, but I have a problem with, and it's a light scent candle. So last night I was thinking, man, this is already giving me a headache. I can't do it, even though you have a little bit of ventilation going. It's still a pretty strong smell for me. So then I was remembering back when I first started van life, I got a can of like Crisco, cooking, lard, whatever it's called. Um, but Crisco. And I got a funny joke about that too, Crisco. I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, and I'd take those long thin candles, and I'd put a couple of them in there and I'd put them all the way down. And I had to cut a little bit off the bottom so that they would fit down really good. And that was odorless and it just burned so nice. And so I'll probably go to the store today and get that stuff to do that. Dollar Tree, I mean, it doesn't cost very much. Of course, I haven't bought Crisco in like 20 years. Just kidding. About 7 years ago. So I'm sure it's a lot more than what I paid back then. But anyway, it's still cost effective for myself. I also have a lot of rugs down on my floor. Number one, I like the cushioning of it. I don't have any. I want to build out things in my van. I just never have. Um, I will get these great ideas and just not do them. So I'm happy with the way it's set up. I'm comfortable with the way it is. So with that, I just don't change it. If it's not broke, why fix it? And I'd hate to put time and money and effort into something that I just don't like. There's a few things. Sorry, my nose I'm so cold in the nose area. There's just some things that would work better if I would change it a little bit, just tweak it. And maybe that's something I could do in the spring. Now, this cancer stuff is, thank you, Jesus, cancer free. I'm on maintenance. Tomorrow, and then I should have one more treatment, the first week of January. And prayerfully, I won't even need that one. So we'll see. I see my doctor the day before my next scheduled appointment. So, anyway, and I layer up, as you could see. I have on 2 shirts, my little jacket, my vest that I love so much, and always a hat. Because without my hair now, I cannot believe how cold my head gets. It gets very cold. In the summertime, I mean, I was like, I didn't care. People could stare at me all they want. I have very little hair. Actually, it's been growing a little bit, so I'm quite pleased with that. But I honestly kind of like the shorter hair. If it comes back curly, I'll let it, grow. If it stays curly, I'll let it grow a little bit. That will be good. But that's what I do. I am going to invest in some slippers because socks are. I have lymphedema, so my legs have swollen my entire life. So I don't know if you guys know much about lymphedema, but by wearing socks, I call it mushrooming. I'll swell up over the sock and it just hurts. So I try not to wear socks except for when I'm putting on my tennis shoes and and then they come off. But house slippers, nice fuzzy ones, will be good, and they'll keep my feet warm. So yeah, that's what I do. I know other people, they have the Wave 3, they have the diesel heaters, they have all of that stuff. And if it works for them, great. I even know people that run their little butane stove. I do not, because no matter how much ventilation, I would be freaking out. But that's just me. I just make sure. Like where my candle sits, there's nothing around it, nothing at all. I don't worry about um, a fire because number one, it doesn't burn all night. I turn it off and make sure it's well and out, good 45 minutes before I go to bed. But like I said, it keeps it off, the dampness out. I also have a blanket that number one I'll use for a privacy bathroom blanket that goes across, but also when it has been in the high 20s, I will do that to block off the front part of the cab to where I sleep, and that helps hold my body heat into that area. You know, it works nice, and it also has helped with condensation on my windows. So there's a win-win. I there's all kinds of tips and tricks that you can do. You don't have to be freezing cold, and it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. Um, I'm in the city right now. Well, this is called a town. This isn't a city. It's a city next to me, but I just wouldn't be able to go to sleep with my windows even cracked, even though I have the guards on the outside of my windows so people couldn't see it. In my mind, I would know that my window is down and I just wouldn't sleep well. And the Lord gives me perfect rest at night, and I want to keep it that way. So I don't know if any of that helps anybody, but that's how I keep warm. There's been a day or two before I got the candle. Um, and then all of a sudden Dawn would get a candle, you know. But uh, for a few days, I was cold to the bone, and that was not good. That was, it's just miserable, and we don't need to be miserable. And days like this, I'm pretty much stuck in my van until I go to a store to get out of my vehicle. And I try to do that every day when it's icky out, so I could get some steps in. But even that is difficult because everyone's Christmas shopping and they're stressed out, you know. And every person I passed yesterday inside of Walmart, I wish that I said, Merry Christmas. And some of them looked at me like, what is wrong with you? But I wish them, you know, Merry Christmas. It's like, you know, smile, you know, be happy. It's not about spending money. That is not what it's about. Trust and believe. My kids too are all adults now, and they cannot tell you what I got them for Christmas when they were little, but they can tell you what awesome memories we made when they were little. And that is what is so exciting about all of it when they were growing up. So, yeah, people's got to like leave that whole, you know, buy me stuff and just, you know, set a budget, leave it at that budget, and then, you know, make memories. That's what it's about. It's all about the memories. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share on, you know, this is what I do to stay warm while living in my van. And then I think in a few days I'm going to talk about safety because that is a big thing, especially being a single female. And I don't hide the fact um, that I'm sleeping in my vehicle. And, you know, as a matter of fact, where I park at, I made sure to meet the neighbors and let them know what I was doing there and why I was there. But even when I'm out and about traveling places, when they say stealthy, I'm far from stealthy. I used to stress over that. So I thought I'd do a video on that later on. Anyway, God bless each and every one of you. I pray you have an amazing day. It is Tuesday. Yay, Tuesday. I pray for you. I ask that you pray for me. And if you have any suggestions on heating, I know people say, you know, heating blankets, water bottle. Heating blanket would take too much of my energy off my battery, and I just rather use it for something else. And I'm never cold in my bed. I layer up in that bed. I got a comfortable bed. It's a good bed. But anyway, yeah, God bless each of you, and leave your suggestions and your tips and tricks because, hey, I read everything. I might not always be able to answer, but I definitely read it. So God bless you guys, and I'll be talking to you soon. This is Gracie, and I'm out. Bye.